Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Extra Time TV. This is Andres Soglal and we're going to continue speaking about the Copa America. Today, Argentina sealed the third spot in the competition with a very hotly contested affair. There was lots of controversy and we're going to speak about that on another show with our very own Michael Ragunath on Ask the Ref. He trains, he assesses, he has been at the FIFA World Cup in 2002, the Confederations Cup and also the Sydney Olympics, just to name a few. But moving along, there was a particular incident with Leo Messi and Gary Medel, which a lot of people are speaking about. Let us know what you think about that. Do you think Gary Medel and Leo Messi should have been sent off? A lot of people are saying no. Let us know your thoughts. But now, the game of the moment, Brazil take on Peru in the Copa America Final. And let's be honest, Peru definitely did not have an easy time coming here. They were trounced 5-0 by Brazil early in the tournament. A lot of people said Ricardo Gareca and his men were down and out. But they did really well. And if there was any controversy in the Brazil-Argentina game, there definitely was not any with this Chile versus Peru game. Chile were well and truly beaten by this Peruvian team. They look really sharp. Guerrero and all these guys seem to be really on form and they rose to the occasion. Many people did not give Peru a chance to get to the final. They thought it was a foregone conclusion. Yes, this Chilean team is an aging team, but they really seem to be, grinding out results. And a lot of people assumed that they would have at least gotten to the final. That wasn't the case. So, Brazil, they've had a pretty decent tournament so far. A lot of controversy, especially against Argentina with the two controversial calls. Leo Messi has called it out. That's another topic we'll be discussing. Once again, let us know what you think in the comment section below. The final will be playing at the Maracana Stadium. A little bit of trivia for you guys. There's another name for it. Let us know what you think by placing that name in the comment section below. So before we get started, like as always, we have our experts. And this is a Peruvian expert. His name is Brian Bertie, all the way from Canada, and he's going to give us his thoughts on what is going to take place. So Brian, before we get started, what are your thoughts on the last game between Chile and Peru?
I think against Chile, we showed them up because I was not that impressed with the Chilean national team leading up to it. So I had a feeling that we could pull it off. Not only did we pull it off, but we put in the best performance in the entire Copa for Peru. Against Uruguay, we looked relatively poor. Against Brazil, it's a 5-0. You can't really say much other than they were poor. And before that, I think we were having an okay Copa, but this game was possibly the best game in the Gareca era. We've had some great games here, but I think this one, we just obliterated them. Nothing was left there. I think that we scored the 2 goals early. We were pretty dominant up for the first 2 goals, and then Chile took over, but they didn't really know what to do with the ball. I think they had a lot of it. We couldn't win the ball back too easily, but when we did, the counters were always dangerous. And we defended extraordinarily. So I think that is a promising performance leading up to the final. We'll see. We just have to see what comes of that.
Thanks, Brian. For those of you who don't know, Brian is the founder of the Peruvian Waltz. Peruvian football in English, so you can check that out. So moving along, Brian, let us know, what do you think? What are your expectations for the final between Peru and Brazil?
I think against Chile, we showed them up because I was not that impressed with the Chilean national team leading up to it. So I had a feeling that we could pull it off. Not only did we pull it off, but we put in the best performance in the entire Copa for Peru. Against Uruguay, we looked relatively poor. Against Brazil, it's a 5-0. You can't really say much other than they were poor. And before that, I think we were having an okay Copa, but this game was possibly the best game in the Gareca era. We've had some great games here, but I think this one, we just obliterated them. Nothing was left there. I think that we scored the 2 goals early. We were pretty dominant up for the first 2 goals, and then Chile took over, but they didn't really know what to do with the ball. I think they had a lot of it. We couldn't win the ball back too easily, but when we did, the counters were always dangerous. And we defended extraordinarily. So I think that is a promising performance leading up to the final. We'll see. We just have to see what comes of that.
Thank you, Brian. A lot of you don't know, Brian is the founder of the Peruvian Waltz, Peruvian football in English, and he's definitely the right guy to be asking these questions. So, Brian, up next, a lot of people are speaking about tactics. Chichi and his men have used the 4-2-3-1 formation with Casemiro in the defensive midfield position, Gabriel Jesus, Firmino, Everton on the left side. Then you have Marquinhos and Thiago Silva with Alisson in goal. So it's looking like a pretty tough game. Brazil at home is always very difficult. Controversies aside, with the 5-0 result taking place the first time around, Peru will probably have this at the back of their minds. So what do you think, tactically or formation-wise, Peru and, well, Gareca and his men need to use in this particular game? How do you think they're going to approach this game?
I think that the lineup, like I said, we will go with the lineup that we went against the last two games. And we went against Chile and Uruguay. And I don't think we should play too conservatively. I think we should play half and half, maybe for the counter. But I think Brazil control the midfield really well, and that's going to be one problem. But again, I don't think we'll lose 5-0. I think we're going to need a perfect game to be able to beat Brazil in their own home. Even that might not be enough. I mean, some teams had perfect games and they still lost there. But I think that this is an interesting question about the tactics, because I think that Gareca he will play something a little more conservative than the last game. But we also got to remember that the last game we were not doing too badly until Gareca made that error, and then then everything went the wrong way from there. So it was only going to go one way as well, and we just got to make sure we don't concede early goals. That's what I think, and if we don't, I think it's going to be a fought game. But if we do, it could go the same way as the group stage. So we'll see. But I personally, if you want my personal opinion, I think it's not going to be a 5-0. I'm a little bit confident it's not, but I don't think we'll win either. That's the problem.
All right, Brian, just to finish things off, this is a game that a lot of people are favoring in the side of Brazil. What are your thoughts on this? How do you think this particular game is going to turn out?
Now, my expectation for the final is we'll probably lose. I think that Brazil at home is near unbeatable. I think they've lost. I could be wrong on this one, but I've been saying the whole tournament they've lost only 4 times in their history. Top of my head, against Uruguay, the Maracanazo in 1950, the loss in Belo Horizonte to Peru 40 years ago, and the 2 World Cup losses in 2014 against Germany and the Netherlands. Even though the Netherlands was kind of a demoralized, glorified friendly, it still counts. It's a competitive game. But I think we'll probably lose. I don't think it will be a 5-0 loss though this time. I think we're going to put more of a fight, because I think Gareca will have learned his errors. Some of the players that he put on didn't have a lot of work rate compared to the players they switched up in the Uruguay game. I think a player like Andy Polo has a lot less defensive aspects in him than someone like Carrillo. Same said for Christopher Gonzalez didn't play that game, if I recall correctly. But Cueva doesn't. He does know how to defend, but he doesn't defend as much as Flores, for example. So I think that is a example. That is the difference between these two games. Now we're back with our old formation. I think we'll put in a fight. I don't think we'll win though. I think Brazil are gonna find a way to win somehow. They're at home. They get the job done. It's that simple.
Okay, Brian, thanks a lot. For those of you who don't know, as I said before, he's the founder of the Peruvian Waltz. Peruvian football in English. So with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment in the comment section below. Let us know what you think. Do you think Brazil is just going to stroll to the final? History seems to be pointing in that direction. Will Ricardo Gareca and his men break Brazil's hearts? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. As I said before, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the little notification bell, because when you get new videos from Extra Time TV, it pops up in your feed so you don't miss a beat. So, as I said, for the 3rd time, don't forget to do all these things, because once you do that, you automatically qualify for a chance to win a copy of FIFA 19 from the kind folks of my store. So, as always, it's a pleasure. Let's go enjoy the Copa America Final, and thank you for joining us. I hope you all enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like and subscribe, because if you don't, a baby puppy cries.